Boxing truth here. Golden Boy matchmaker Eric Gomez, who has a Twitter handle, Twitter name, goes by the Twitter name of Make a War, because he's a matchmaker for Golden Boy. He's made some good fights with them in his career with Golden Boy. But he's throwing some shade. Him and Team Canelo are throwing shade at Triple G, as he recently told a boxing writer that Canelo would eat Triple G's opponents for breakfast. Talking shit, saying that Golovkin is facing some weak-ass opposition. Saying that Canelo would trash all of Triple G's opponents. Now, it is interesting debate. You look at Canelo, you look at him as a fighter. He hasn't beaten legitimate middleweight. He's been feasting on mostly welters, blown up welters, faded guys. Went life and death with slicksters like Trout and Lara. Lost his decision to Floyd. Hasn't beaten legit middleweight. But compare him to Golovkin's opponents. Could he eat most of Golovkin's opponents for breakfast? Now, when it comes to Golovkin's last opponent, I agree with that statement. Canelo would have ate Dominic Wade for breakfast. I mean, it was Triple G's weakest opponents to date on HBO. Wade did not belong in the ring. He was a prospect that was too inexperienced, not at the level that he should have been when fighting a caliber fighter of Triple G. Just didn't belong in the ring with him. Now, I agree with Eric Gomez's statement that Canelo would eat Dominic Wade for breakfast. I actually think Canelo would have knocked out Dominic Wade or beaten him. But look at Golovkin's past opponents. Who would you pick from the list of opponents of Golovkin that would beat Canelo? Now, in my opinion, I think Canelo beats most of Golovkin's opponents for sure. I think Canelo would beat David Lemieux. I think Canelo would beat Curtis Stevens. Martin Murray will be an interesting fight. Kasim Uma was a little past it when he fought Triple G, but it's still one of his toughest fights. Daniel Gill. So Eric Gomez has a point when it comes to Triple G's opponents. Would Canelo eat him for breakfast? I mean, you guys tell me, who would you pick from the list of Golovkin's opposition that would beat Canelo? Why? Who? And, what's the reason you feel that way? But it is an interesting debate. Would Canelo beat any of Triple G's opponents? I think he would beat most of them. Ishida, I mean, he used to school Ishida in sparring. I seen Canelo spar with Ishida, and he had no problems with him. Now, the opponents, not Golovkin's fault. He hasn't fought in any great fighters. He's fought in solid guys rated in the top 10, top 5. He's unified. He's fought legitimate middleweights. Canelo has not. But even so, I still would pick Canelo to beat the majority of Golovkin's opponents. I mean, he would beat Ishida. He would beat Daniel Gill. He would beat David Lemieux. In my opinion, I think it'll be an interesting fight. A lot of people would pick David Lemieux to beat Canelo, but that fight would have to be at 160. That's the only way that fight could take place. Lemieux has to cut off his leg just to make 155. Who else? I think Canelo beats Matthew Macklin. I mean, some people feel Canelo is overrated, that he's a protected cherry picker. He definitely was protected, but earlier in his career, he's fought better opposition over the past 3 years. Ever since he's fought Trout, he started fighting guys his size, around his size, legitimate junior middleweights. And then more recently, he's been fighting guys who are naturally smaller, guys with their own weight divisions like Miguel Cotto. And now he's fighting Amir Khan, a Cheney welterweight. So let's see what happens after May 7th. Will Canelo fight a legitimate middleweight? Will he fight Pacquiao if he gets past Khan? Will he take on a GGG leftover? Give the fans some hope that he'll fight Triple G in May of 2017 at the earliest, since it most likely will not be next in September. But it was an interesting comment from Eric Gomez, throwing shade at Golovkin's opposition, insisting that it's not even strong enough to beat Canelo, that Canelo would eat all of his opponents for breakfast. But y'all let me know what y'all think. This is Boxing Truth. I'm out.